Greetings and salutations. Today we'll be covering part of the shadowy annals of the United States and its folklore. This is the chilling enigma known as the Bell Witch, or the Bell Witch hauntings. This phenomena haunts the history of the 19th century Bell family of northwest Robertson County, Tennessee. Nestled along the banks of the Red River, the abode of Farmer John Bell Sr. and his kin bore witness to the harrowing tale of terror that unfolded between 1817 and 1821. What sets this legend apart was the relentless assault by an entity who was mostly imperceivable to the human eye. However, they were endowed with the power of speech, manipulation of items within the physical realm, and the uncanny ability to transform its shape. Some accusations go even further, attributing clairvoyance and superhuman speeds, much like those you would find in a modern comic book, to this unearthly force. Fast forward to the year 1894, when newspaper editor Martin V. Ingram etched his name into history with the publication of Authenticated History of the Bell Witch. This literary endeavor stands as the earliest comprehensive account of the Bell Witch legend, offering an invaluable insight into the experiences of historical figures associated with this haunting. However, as time has marched on, skepticism has cast its long shadow over Ingram's work. Some modern critics question its veracity, suggesting that it might be a work of historical fiction or even an outright fraud. Nevertheless, others view Ingram's labor as an early contribution into the fields of folklore studies, representing a genuine reflection of the beliefs held by the denizens of the region during the 19th century. While the Bell Witch legend initially bore no connection to a specific location, the 20th century saw the emergence of the Bell Witch Cave, a focal point of intrigue, reverence, and the generation of new tales. This subterranean labyrinth became an unexpected epicenter of fascination, expanding the scope of the legend far beyond its origins. Through the lens of contemporary art, whether it be in film, music, the spectacular case of the Bell Witch continues to cast an eerie spell on the collective imagination, transcending the regional boundaries of its original tales. In the mystifying tales of An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch, Martin V. Ingram delves deeper into the enigma of the poltergeist referred to as Kate. This specific entity is known as Old Kate Bates, and they seem to favor this name, responding to it with an eerie inclination. The epicenter of the paranormal activity originated around the Bell's youngest daughter, Betsy, and her father. It is worthy of note that Kate displayed a pronounced aversion when Betsy announced her engagement to a local suitor, Joshua Grander. As the journey continues, this chilling tale takes us back to 1817, when John Bell, the patriarch of the Bell family, had a fateful encounter with an otherworldly creature. This creature was an amalgam of a dog with the head of a rabbit, and he stated that it materialized before him, only to vanish into thin air when he fired at it. The eerie encounter didn't stop there. Drew Bell, John's son, crossed paths with a particular bird of an extraordinary size, perched ominously on a fence. Some have gone so far as to claim this might be one of the legendary Thunderbirds of Native American folklore. However, continuing on, the Bell's daughter Betsy found herself witnessing a ghostly girl swaying from a limb of an ancient oak tree. Even Dean would not escape the web of the supernatural. He reported being endlessly pursued by a formidable black dog whenever he visited his wife at night. This is eerily reminiscent of a tale from England of another rather onerous black dog. The inexplicable occurrences would progressively intensify, with eerie knocking echoing along the doors and walls of the Bell household. The family bore witness to the bizarre sounds gnawing at their beds, invisible dogs, and a phantom set of chains dragging along the floors. The most perplexing aspect of this haunting was the onset of John Bell's mysterious and sudden paralysis, which specifically affected his mouth. The intensity of these unearthly phenomena escalated further as the entity began to exert its malevolent influence on the Bell children. Bed sheets would be yanked from slumbering bodies, and the children were subject to hair pulling, scratching, and relentless torment. Betsy in particular bore the brunt of this supernatural assault, enduring slaps pinches, even piercing pricks of pins. In their desperate quest for answers, the beleaguered Bells turned to a trusted friend, James Johnston. Little did he know that the same paranormal forces that plagued the Bell family would visit him during his restless nights at their home. Startled by the inexplicable events that unfolded, he likened the experience to a spirit just like in the Bible. Word of this chilling haunting would soon spread like wildfire, drawing curious onlookers from far and wide, all eager to lay their eyes on the elusive witch. As the eerie entity gained the ability to vocalize its thoughts, a crucial question was posed. Who are you and what do you want? The response was a feeble yet profound, I am a spirit. I was once very happy but have been disturbed. The witch's explanation for its appearance wove a complex web, linking its presence to the disturbance of a Native American burial mound on the Bell property. It even sent Drew Bell and Bennett Porter on a fruitless quest for hidden treasure. But the supernatural strangeness didn't end there. The entity displayed an uncanny familiarity with the Bible, engaging in theological debates and showcasing its deep knowledge of religious texts. As if it wasn't bizarre enough, the witch seemed to take pleasure in divulging gossip about the lives of others, at times even appearing to briefly depart to visit other homes in response to inquiries. Yet it was John Johnston, the son of James Johnston, who devised a test to challenge the witch's otherworldly knowledge. He posed a question known only to his family, asking what his Dutch step-grandmother in North Carolina would say to the slaves if she suspected them of wrongdoing. The witch, with an eerie precision, echoed his grandmother's accent, uttering, "Hut tut, what has happened now?" In another eerie account, an Englishman visiting the Bell homestead offered to investigate. As he discussed his overseas family with the witch, she began to mimic his English parents. To his astonishment, in the early morning hours, the entity roused them to the voices of his concerned parents in England, who had heard his voice as well. Overcome by these inexplicable events, the Englishman, in a letter to the Bell family, conveyed his apologies for his initial skepticism and revealed that the witch had extended its ominous presence to his family across the seas. Amidst the chaos and malevolence, the spirit would exhibit moments of unexpected benevolence. Lucy, John Bell's esteemed wife, who was described as the most perfect woman on earth, found herself the recipient of the witch's peculiar acts of kindness. It seemed to extend an olive branch in the form of fresh fruits and soothing hymns, all the while displaying a modicum of respect towards John Bell Jr. Yet this spectral entity often referred to John Bell Sr. as Old Jack, and it appeared she had harbored a sinister agenda towards him, openly declaring its intention to end the patriarch's life, signaling this macabre intent through a chilling symphony of curses, threats, and grievous afflictions. The climax of the entire saga arrived when the witch, with an almost malevolent glee, poisoned John Bell Sr. The eerie specter did not end there. As the mourners gathered, the entity would reportedly, brazenly, disrupt their solemn singing, casting an unsettling pale over the entire somber affair. In the year 1821, the Bell family's ordeal reached a haunting crescendo, which, under the witch's compelling influence, Betsy Bell was made to break off her engagement with Joshua Gardner. But even as this chapter appeared to come to a close, the witch would deliver a promise. It declared its intention to depart, but vowed to return 7 years later, setting the eerie stage for 1828. True to its word, the witch resurfaced in 1828, targeting Lucy and her sons, Richard and Joel. The haunting activities mirrored those in the past, as if malevolent echoes had reverberated throughout time. However, this time, the family chose not to indulge the entity, opting instead to deny its existence and the encouragement it seemed to seek. In response, the witch, as mysteriously as it arrived, appeared to recede into the shadows once more. In the murky depths of the Bell Witch mystery, intriguing accounts weave a tapestry of enigmatic encounters. Among these accounts, one name stands out in the annals of history: Andrew Jackson, the man who would later become president of the United States. He found himself captivated by the chilling tale, so much so that he dispatched a contingent of his own men to investigate the Bell Witch phenomenon. However, the eerie encounters proved so unnerving that they fled, their courage shattered by the supernatural forces hoaxes which engulfed them. Yet the story of the Bell Witch takes on an even more bewildering twist in an independent oral tradition rooted in the vicinity of Panola County, Mississippi. According to this account, the witch was none other than the vengeful spirit of an unpleasant overseer who met his end. In this twisted narrative, the malevolent spirit falls under the beguiling spell of a central character named Mary, an ill-fated infatuation which ultimately led to their tragic demise. This tale also echoes those of vampire lore, which casts a strange light upon the supernatural legend of the Bell Witch. Adding another layer of complexity into this enigma, the supernatural abilities attributed to the Tennessee variant of the spirit bear an uncanny resemblance to the age-old myths of jinn from ancient mythology. These entities, who are known for their otherworldly powers, seem to find a particular parallel in the Bell Witch's spectral manifestations. However, in a manuscript attributed to Richard Williams, he notes the musings of a perplexed observer as he eloquently captures the essence of the mystery that has confounded generations. Whether it is witchery, such as afflicted people in the past centuries and the Dark Ages, whether some gifted fiend of a hellish nature practicing sorcery for selfish enjoyment, or some more modern science akin to that of mesmerism, or some hobgoblin native to the wilds of this country, or a disembodied soul shut out from heaven, or even an evil spirit like those Paul drove out of sick men into the swine, setting them mad, or demons let loose from hell, I am unable to decline, nor has anyone yet divined the nature or cause for appearing, and I trust this description of the monster in all forms and shapes and many tongues will lead experts who may come with a wiser generation to a correct conclusion and satisfactory explanation. William Bell's words have echoed throughout time as they invite experts of a wiser generation to discern the riddles of this enigmatic phenomena and provide a long-sought explanation to the haunting legacy of the Bell Witch. In the spring of 1880, the quaint town of Springfield, Tennessee became the stage for a particular unsettling series of events. A so-called haunted house stood at the epicenter of this mystery, where eerie knocking sounds emanated from beneath the very floorboards. This unsettling saga unfolded over several nights, with unrelenting knockings commencing at 10:30 p.m. and persisting into the early hours of the morning, casting a pall of unease over the house. Yet the most bewildering twist would occur on the fateful night of Wednesday, April 28th, 1880, when the family residing in the haunted abode chose to vacate their home for the evening. Left behind there at the time was a small group of investigators who remained vigilant, and to their astonishment, the knocking sounds persisted, but this time they echoed from a distant 50 yards away. The enigma deepened, leaving witnesses in a state of bewilderment. The identity of the entity responsible for these uncanny events remained shrouded in mystery. However, speculation and accusations rose within the community, some pointing to the Bell Witch, creating a link between the two events. However, in a turn of events, Laura Hopkins Jones, recently married to the prominent physician John W. Knuckles, found herself at the center of a domestic disturbance. A local carpenter, Gil Willing, accused Laura of creating eerie knocking sounds with an iron ball concealed beneath her garments. The couple's union would become strained due to these accusations, leading to a separation in May 1880. Going further, in 1919, folklorist Tom P. D. Cross delved into the world of witchcraft in North Carolina, where he uncovered a column from the Nashville Banner indicating that the newspaper had dispatched a reporter named John C. Cookie to investigate reports of a potential resurgence of the Bell Witch phenomena. This revelation only deepens the mystery surrounding the Bell Witch legend, in part due to also pointing to a sketch of Robertson County, which included accounts of the Bell Witch having emerged in the year 1900, penned for Nashville's Central Exposition in 1880. The sketch offered a glimpse of the legend's origins, citing various sources including F.R. Mills, William Pride, W.J. Gutch, Ben B. Batts, along with many others. This account highlighted the brutal disturbances as the origins of the witch's ire. Essentially, The entity had been said to state that it had the ability to communicate in multiple languages, and that it had the panache for setting dogs on unsuspecting victims. In this version of the tale, the Bell Witch did not explicitly poison John Bell, offering a variant perspective on the tragic events of the era. Furthermore, the sketch included a curious aspect to the witch's abilities. She was said to have the power to transform into different animals, including a rabbit, a bear, or a black dog, and mimic various animal sounds. Her enigmatic identity was supposedly shrouded in mystery, but known by 3 names: Three Waters, Tenapati, and Black Dog. However, the saga of the Bell Witch does not end there. On January 1890, an inexplicable phenomena gripped the small county of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Over the course of a week, hundreds of residents flocked to a house located 2.5 miles east of Hopkinsville. The cause of this strange gathering? Coal inexplicably falling from the ceiling of a family room. The house belonged to none other than W.G.L. Waite, a respected member of the church, and his family. In the pursuit of answers for the Bell Witch phenomena, investigators of the unexplained have emphasized a crucial lesson which the Bell Witch story imprints into the inquiry of this case. Ben Radford cautions against the ease with which the legends and myth can be mistaken for factual events when rigorous sources of verification are overlooked. Radford's message resonates simply yet loudly. The burden of proof does not fall on skeptics to disprove claims, but rather on the proponents to substantiate their assertions with concrete evidence. Brian During echoes these statements and urges caution in embracing tales of supposed paranormal activity without credible evidence to support them. He emphasizes that vague stories merely hint at the presence of something, while key elements of the Bell Witch story have been debunked or emanate from sources of questionable credibility. In the absence of reliable documentation, During remains resolute, stating there is little merit in delving into a narrative lacking substantiated facts. However, skepticism is not the sole perspective in this labyrinthian tale. Joe Nickell offers an alternative viewpoint, suggesting that those who knew Betsy Bell, one of the central figures to the legend, harbored suspicions of her involvement in fraudulent activities. Nickell posits that the Bell Witch story bears the hallmarks of a phenomenon known as the poltergeist faking syndrome, in which individuals, often children, engage in trickery to create mischief and perpetuate supernatural claims. Amy Fulker, a historian of collective memory, approaches the Bell Witch legend from a rather unique angle. She reminds us that the veracity of the hauntings is of little consequence to her research. What truly matters is the belief in these phenomena, as it offers valuable insight into the perspectives of the 19th and 20th century. The Bell Witch legend, regardless of its factual basis, serves as a window to the collective consciousness of a bygone era. As one reflects upon the Bell Witch phenomena, it is clear that we've ventured into the heart of an enduring mystery, one that transcends the boundaries of time, in a world where skepticism and belief collide, where folklore intertwines with reality, where tales of the Bell Witch persist in the collective memory of generations. Whether we approach this enigma as skeptics or as seekers of deeper truths, we cannot deny the profound impact that it has had on the perspectives of those who came before us. The Bell Witch may remain elusive, but it serves as a testament to our innate curiosity and our eternal quest to decipher the mysteries which surround us. In the end, it is not just about proving or disproving the Bell Witch. It's about unraveling the layers of our own human narrative, where belief and skepticism dance on the precipice of the unexplained. If you remained with me until the end, I thank you, and I do hope you stay tuned and subscribe for more content.